Hey guys, this is Miriam at iLife Auto. I am out doing a video test drive on a 2017 Nissan Rogue. If you've never been on my video test drives before, the way it works is I drive the vehicle on video and I tell you what I see, hear, think, smell, and feel to give you the best indication of being in the driver's seat without actually being in the driver's seat. I'm not a mechanic and this is not meant to be a 182-point inspection. Rather, it's meant to be a sneak peek into how the vehicle drives and any potential issues I notice as we're going along. So we'll take a look around the vehicle, we'll take a look under the hood, and then we'll go for a drive. And this one is kind of a unique one. I don't know if it's unique or whatever, but this is my third video test drive on this. Third video test drive, and because we fixed something in between each one. I'll kind of explain that, but to save you time, if you are someone who does not like check engine lights, you can stop watching this video. And it's not because the check engine lights are like scary, but it's just because there's some lights on the dash and they're not going to go away unless you fix some stupid little sensor. But if you don't fix a stupid little sensor, there's like 18 lights on the dash that tell you this sensor is off. But if you want to keep going, go ahead, keep going. If you don't like lights or you don't want to do any repairs at all, this ain't your vehicle. So here we go. 2017 Nissan Rogue. It's pretty decent looking condition. I mean, I don't know, as far as rust goes, you got like a couple little things. You got like a little ding there. But other than that, it's not bad. Tires are about 40% on the back. And about the same, 35, 40% on the front. So they're not the greatest tires, but they are, I think they're better than what was on there. That's one of the things that I did. I put some tires on this because the other tires were not good. So that's one thing I did. Inside, pretty good condition, just cloth interior. A little bit dirty, but it's been driven some. But no rips or tears or holes or anything like that. Here is one of the other things that we replaced. This is a transfer case because this is an all-wheel drive vehicle. So with an all-wheel drive vehicle, you've got a transfer case that transfers the power from the front axle to the rear axle. And so originally when we drove this vehicle, it was phenomenal. It just needed like a wheel bearing or whatever. So we replaced the wheel bearing, we replaced the serpentine belt, we changed the oil, so it's got a fresh oil change. And then the next time I drove it, it was making a weird clunking noise. And I'm like, all right. But we couldn't find anything. So I'm like, all right, well, this has got to be the transfer case. It's all-wheel drive. It's only happening at weird times. And so I thought, okay, well, it's the transfer case. You can see back here, it's just 2 rows, but you've got storage back here. So I bought a transfer case. We replaced the transfer case. And I brought it back and I started to do another video test drive. And I'm like, yes, the noise is gone. And then the noise happened again. I'm like, oh crap, now what is it? So then I got underneath it for like a 3rd time, 4th time, whatever. And I found the actual problem that was probably the problem all along. There was a CV axle in the rear. I think it was this passenger one that goes into the rear differential that was broken. And it was clanking around in there whenever it hit the wrong thing. And so that was the noise that I couldn't find. So with that, we replaced the whole rear differential and the rear CV axle with that. Okay, so this side, again, body is in pretty decent condition, no real rust or anything to speak of. The front, you've got some, paint things going on, but nothing really major. So under here, there's your motor. That's been the same all along. It has run well. Like I said, it's got a fresh oil change, fresh serpentine belt. Okay, so then we replaced the CV axle and the differential, and it's doing good. And I'm gonna be honest, I've not driven this yet, but my mechanic says that it's gone. So we will find out. But that means that's fixed. But in the process, on these modern cars, every stupid wheel has a stupid sensor on it that tells the computer how fast the car is going. It's a wheel speed sensor. And that sensor is plugged in from the wheel bearing to, it weaves in through the car. And so somewhere in between the CV axle getting replaced in the rear, the wheel speed sensor stopped reading. And it wasn't reading. And so our mechanic, he replaced the wheel speed sensor, I think with a I think with a new one. Maybe he was just testing something, I don't know. But it still wasn't reading. So there's going to be a lot of lights on the dash. I'll show you. We've got, says warning, malfunction, and that's your like collision malfunction, your parking malfunction. Warning, all-wheel drive error. That is because of the sensor, and I'll explain to you the all-wheel drive thing. The ABS light is on. The tire pressure light is on. Tire pressure, I think I just need to put some air in the tires. But the traction control light is on, and that triangle light is on. The triangle is just a, hey, there's a warning thing. But the ABS and the traction control light, those are all related to that one little sensor that is not working, is not telling the car how fast it's going. And so then you get into all-wheel drive vehicles, and all-wheel drive vehicles, you have to have all 4 sensors working in order for your all-wheel drive to work, because all-wheel drive activates when it thinks your wheels are slipping. So when it discovers that one wheel is moving at like 60 miles per hour and the other wheels are moving at 30, it thinks that that wheel moving 60 is slipping. So that's the problem. So that one is not telling it how fast it's going, and so it thinks it's slipping, so it can't activate. It knows there's a problem, and so it can't activate the all-wheel drive. So that's why it says all-wheel drive error. That's why the all-wheel drive is not currently activated. So this is currently a front-wheel drive vehicle until that gets fixed. And I can show you the video test drives from the first 2 times I did it, where the all-wheel drive worked, where those lights were not on. And so the only thing that changed was we replaced that part. And so there is just some issue with the wheel speed sensor that is telling it how fast it's going. Sorry, I'm waiting for traffic so that I can get out here. Anyways, like I said, this is a long video. Hey, that's a new truck. Fort Madison didn't have pickup trucks. Now they do. So that's that. So there's a lot of lights on the dash. Past that, we're going to go see how it drives. I think that you could probably get it fixed for, some diag and some repair for probably $100 or $200, something like that. The reason I am not getting it fixed is because with all of the repairs that I have mistakenly identified, with the transfer case and with all of that, so I am now buried in this vehicle to the point where, I'm losing money selling it. So it kind of sucks for me, but sometimes that's how the car business goes. So that's the reason I'm not doing it, is because I just don't want to bury myself further. But you can do it on, you might be able to do some YouTube, whatever, and get it done. So we'll drive it knowing that. So it drives really well. Nissans are pretty typically good vehicles. They typically run well. They typically last a long time. They're not as notorious as like Honda, Toyota, but they do typically carry a good name to them, because they do tend to run well and last a little bit longer. And that's exemplified because this car has 240,000 miles on it. Like I said, it's got a fresh oil change that's not due till 242,975. But I mean, that's just indicative of that, because it's running so well at 240,000 miles. So, like I said, running well, driving well. It's driving smooth. I don't hear any suspension noise. Let's see. Turn signal, left turn signal works. Right turn signal works. Flip this around. You can hear the radio. It also works. Turn that up a little bit so you can hear that. So I'm going to figure out how to work the AC. Let's see. Auto AC. We'll double check that. And we'll do our turn signal. No, those are windshield wipers. Our windshield wipers and fluid work. Turn those off, and we'll check our cruise. Let's see. Cruise set, and you can see our cruise works as well. So All of that works. It's running and driving well. Air conditioning, it's starting to get cold. Give it another minute or so, and I think it will be cold. And this is also like, it's the kind of the loaded up one, the SL or the S. I don't remember which one. Sorry, excuse me. I don't remember which one's the loaded up one, but you've got the heated seats. I'm pretty sure this has a backup camera, but I will double check, and if it does, I'll take pictures of it and put it in the ad. But yeah, so air conditioning is definitely working. So all of that, this is a great running vehicle. It really is, and I think it's going to be a minor repair, but it does have some lights on it. So if you're scared of lights, or if you're scared of miles or something like that, this is not your vehicle. But if you're just looking for, you know, something that's running good and has a potential to be all-wheel drive for winter weather and stuff, this is it. So if you have any further questions, you can give me a call, you can shoot me a text. My cell phone is 309-267-7200. Thanks, guys.